You are now tuned in to Go Time Dolphins with Charlie Touche and Kadeem Simmons, the Miami Dolphins podcast that's for the fans and by the fans.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. Cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time.
Welcome back. Welcome all to day 2 of the NFL draft and day 2 of the Miami Dolphins Go Time Dolphins watch party over here on YouTube and Twitter. As always, I am Kadeem Simmons. There is currently no Mr. Charlie Touche, but he shall be with me shortly. Hopefully you guys can hear me loud and clear and we have no issues with that, because if we do, we have no one to tell me that you cannot hear me or see me, although it looks like you can see me at the very least. So day 2 of the draft on rounds 2 and 3, going to be a fun one. Hopefully the Dolphins can improve on what they did yesterday. My belief is that we won't know until the season, but for the most part, the Miami Dolphins social media fans, which is always, a very negative place, is extremely happy with our day 1 pick in Kenneth Grant. Shout out to Talibah TV. She says, we can hear you. That is great. That is brilliant. Thank you so much. Hope you are well. If you are a UK football fan or international football fan, make sure you go and check out Talibah TV. All things Jamaica over there. An absolutely amazing channel. Tell them Kadeem from Go Time Dolphins said hello and what's up. Day 2 is underway. As I said, Charlie will be with us very, very shortly. I have the draft on my TV to my right, hence why I keep on looking over there. But I know that they will do the picks early sometimes. So, at the very least, I will take my time in announcing picks. I'll look at social media to tell me what is going on. If I spoil anything, I am deeply, deeply sorry. Don't go nowhere. We will get this sorted very, very quickly. So, in the comments, let me know what you think or thought about the Kenneth Grant pickup at pick 13. Like I said, Miami Dolphins social media was all positive. Very, 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 very few negative comments, to the point where I didn't even see them. I know there must have been a few. There was no way that everyone was positive. Over here on Go Time Dolphins, Charlie Touche wasn't best pleased. I wasn't best pleased. My opinion, not because Kenneth Grant isn't a good player. It's more a case of I would have gone somewhere different with the pick. And I felt the Kenneth Grant pick was it was safe. And I have no issue with safe whatsoever. I would have gone with a safer pick or an adjacent safe pick in Gray Dable, who ended up going pick 18 to the Seattle Seahawks. I thought I changed that. Maybe I didn't change that. But I'll change it now. It is obviously rounds 2 and 3, not rounds 2 to 4. I forget that. 2 and 3 on Friday, and then 4, 5, 6, 7 on Saturday, I should say. Sorry, although it's a Saturday right now for me in the UK. Shout out to LB. He says get them likes up, and yes, if you are here watching on YouTube, like the video if you haven't already. Comment on the video. Join us in the live chat. Let us know your thoughts, feelings, all the good stuff, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. As we chase 5,000, 1,500, as we chase 5,000. LB says, I'm feeling really indifferent. It's a wait and see pick. And yeah, I think what I will say, and it being a wait and see pick, to me, it's not a wait and see pick, week 1, snap 1. Chuck Robinson didn't exactly come out of the blocks flying in the rookie season. took a while for him to get the sacks. The pressures were there off the rip. Not everyone was happy with the Josh Robinson pick, even when he was, starting and getting close to sacking quarterbacks. But once he got going, he was a difference maker. And I think, and I hope Kenneth Grant is the same. But yeah, I won't be banging the table, screaming if he isn't getting one sack a game from week one. There's other ways to make plays in the NFL on defense. Sacks are obviously the most important thing. We want the sacks. We want, they look absolutely amazing in the box score. But, you can also make a difference, pressures, and sometimes just play in your gap. If your job is to rush the A gap and you rush the A gap, it allows someone on the edge to get the sack or something, then, doesn't show up in the box score, but it's a greatly appreciated assist from yourself. So yeah, the Dolphins have pick 48 and pick, I believe, 98 in the second and third round. Apologies, I have just woken up. I had 2 hours sleep after round one, and I managed to get a few hours before round two. So yeah, bear with me. As I was saying, I believe the pick is in for the Cleveland Browns. Like I said, I will not spoil anything right now. I will wait for the NFL to, at the very least, I will see if I will announce picks once the NFL Twitter account has tweeted them. I think that is fair. Although I believe, so the NFL Twitter account has announced a pick. Top of the second round, the Browns select Carson Schweinsinger, linebacker from UCLA. Which means Shador Sanders is still on the board, and Shador Sanders is still on the board. It could be a very, very, very long night for him. The Browns are up again in 3 picks, which makes things interesting because they could be looking to trade out of that pick. And the Dolphins, let's be honest, if they love someone, they could go up and get them. But Carson Schweinsinger, the first linebacker off the board in the 2025 NFL draft, going to Cleveland. They traded back in the first round, didn't take Travis Hunter, ended up taking Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant's defensive tackle mate. Charlie Touche to the show. Charlie, what are you saying?
Hold on. Let me get my mic right. My mic sounds nice. Check 1. My mic's nice. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Kadeem, my glasses were talking to me while I was going through the intro, and it was throwing me off. I'm like, oh man, I had to fight through it. I had to get through it.
My cousin's got a pair of glasses. They are pretty amazing. Charlie, do you want me to take this one or do you want to take this one? Talibah TV says, can you fill me in on Sanders, please? I think I understand what's going on, but that's based off observation.
So I believe I'm on record saying I didn't think there was a first-round quarterback in this draft. I thought I said that. I like Jackson Dart more than all of them. I think he's not a first-round pick, but he was selected in the first round. I believe Cam Ward would be overwhelmed by the responsibilities that comes with being a franchise quarterback. And Shador Sanders, I thought of the 3, he was the least ready. Now, Cam Ward could prove me wrong, and boom, and I'll be like, all right, cool, I get it. Like, I just didn't think he had it in him. Sherrod Steve, and I'm going to get to Shador Sanders. Sherrod Steve, on opposite ends of the spectrum again. And Shiraz T. I said Cam. All right. How about this? Cam Ward got his jersey today, and guess who presented it to him? Kadeem.
Warren Moon.
Warren freaking Moon, bro. I'm like, Cam Ward probably didn't even know who he was. And Steve like, nah, man, you tripping. I was like, bro, dog's gonna bust and take the number one. They unretired Warren Moon's number, and he's gonna take it down with him. That's a shame. So Steve was like, nah, I think you're wrong about this. He's gonna work hard, all this good stuff. He's wired right, which is correct. He is wired right. But I think it's gonna be overwhelming for him, and he's gonna flame out. Shedeur Sanders, on the other hand, he's ready for what it takes, but he doesn't have the attributes of Jackson Dart or Cam Ward. You know what I'm saying? If Shedeur Sanders had the attributes of and the intangibles of the other two, then we would be talking about him in the first round. But we're not. So he's really, it's probably best for him to sit a year or spend some time behind a quarterback that he can spend some time with and get groomed with the right coaching staff. Let me remind you that Patrick Mahomes only played one game his rookie year. Jackson Dart shouldn't even see the field this year. You know what I'm saying? So it might be better off for Sanders to start sliding. It's not the conspiracy theory that's in one of my group chats of his dad is just too famous and popular and loud and they don't want the smoke. It's not that. He's just not as good as the other two quarterbacks.
Yeah, Tyler TV said, does confidence and personality have anything to do with not being drafted in the first round? Sometimes it can. I kind of agree with I believe with Saunders, this has nothing to do with confidence and personality. I don't think he's that good a quarterback. I think if he wasn't Deion Saunders' son, he wouldn't be even considered a first-round pick. The NFL doesn't see him as a first-round pick. He wasn't taken in a first-round pick. He's not a first-round pick. But I do believe it is an easy narrative to pick up that, he wasn't taken because of, his name or whatever. And obviously in the build up to the first round and the draft as a whole, we've seen quite a bit about or you've heard reports that he wasn't a good interview. Don't know how true that is.
Yeah, and it came out, especially with the Giants, it came out as if he didn't want to go to New York, so he winged the interview. He threw the interview like, man, I'm not coming here, y'all boys. Don't pick me. So it kind of sounded intentional that he didn't want to go to New York. I'm pretty sure he thought he was going in the top 10. And then I wonder how he feels now. Like, yo, you was throwing interviews, and now look at the results. So I mean, I'm okay with this. It's football. The thing is, he's actually going to get a chance, and then he could hit us with the Amon-Ra St. Brown. I remember every quarterback that was drafted in front of me and list them by name and number and what school they went to. And then I was about to say something that Kadeem would say, but then he could come out and shine and say, "I told you so." I don't think that's in the script, but yo, shout out to everybody who's tuning in on the live, on Twitter, on YouTube. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. How many away are we from 5,000, Kadeem?
I think 110, I believe.
Appreciate y'all. We booming. What we did, like what was that? We did like 90 yesterday.
I think we done 10 yesterday.
Oh, 10 months. I thought you said we was 200 away. Or I thought you said we were 80 away or something like that.
About 180 yesterday. 180. It's been a long.
Hold on. You said we were on 180 away yesterday, and we're at 90 now. We're 90 away from 5,000.
Oh, let me double check my end. We are currently 103 away. We have 4,897.
Yeah, that's way more than
yesterday.
That's way more than 10 subs, Kadeem. That's way more than 10 subs.
I believe yesterday was 4,800, but I could be getting my math wrong. And there's no way to check how many we got over the last 24 hours. But either way, we are currently 103 away from 5,000. We have a pick, or we did have a pick. The Houston Texans selected Jaden Higgins, my boy. from wide receiver from Iowa State. And then the Seattle Seahawks traded with the Tennessee Titans for pick 35. So the Seattle Seahawks are on the clock. Shout out to Jason Keck in the chat and to Rob CAFC. Jason Keck believes that Jason Milroe is the next QB to go. And Rob asked what numbers are we picking at tonight? We are picking at pick 48 currently and pick 98.
I think the Seahawks pick is going to be a running back. They have 2 running backs, but I think this is going to be. Oh, you know what? Pete Carroll's not there no more. I don't know what this pick is. Gonna be. My bad.
So before we get onto the pick yesterday, Charlie, pick 48. Given that we've had a linebacker and a wide receiver taken off the board at the moment, what players are you looking at, and what's the likelihood of one of those players being there at pick 48?
So we'll announce this pick. Richard Sherman is about to announce it, so we'll give you guys the pick, and then we'll talk about 48. Jaden Higgins went. I didn't want Jaden Higgins, so I'm glad to see people who I don't want. Oh, I'm glad to see people who I don't want going before us, so we don't get stuck with them. But the Seattle Seahawks just drafted Nick Emanwari, safety from South Carolina. He was one of the people we wanted, clearly. I believe he's the best safety in the draft. I think he's better than Malachi Starks. And that's a different ball game. So now you look at the Schlesinger, the linebacker went, Nick Emanwari went, and you start to, okay, there's like 15 people that I would like, and then we're like 15 spots away from our pick. So the more people who we don't like going is obviously better for us. But Nick Emanwari was at the top of that list. What do you want us to do at 48, Kadeem?
In a deep offensive line class, I probably would love, probably not. I would love to see us take Jonah Savaiinaea here. That would be, to me, a home run pick. On paper, obviously, we need to see what he does in the NFL, but that would be my primary pick. Although Nick Emanwari going to the Seahawks could start a mini run on safeties, but nah, I'm going with Jonah Savaiinaea. I know a lot of Dolphins Twitter is on the Tate Routledge pick at 48.
It's funny how they are on Tate Routledge, but Tate Routledge has a plethora of injuries. He's like he gets hurt. I don't want to say often, but he's been hurt a lot. And then you have Malachi Starks. You have Malachi Starks, Nick Emanwari, but you have Xavier Watts, another safety you can see in Miami. But I'm of the belief that you don't absolutely have to go safety in the second round when you have so many needs. Yes, safety is one of them, but I believe O-line is more important. So I would want to go O-line. But if we went Xavier Watts, it would be a great pick, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Cleveland Browns select Quinshon Junkins, 2-24. And that's what I thought Seattle was going to take if Pete Carroll was still the coach. But Quinshon Junkins goes to the Browns, 2-24. That's going to be fun. LB bet not snipe me in fantasy.
It's interesting as well. Nick Emanwari going to Seattle. I feel like when the Ravens pick a linebacker or a safety, everyone's like, that's a Ravens pick. This guy, he's a Ravens player, all that kind of stuff. I feel like if Pete Carroll was still in Seattle, it would be like typical Pete Carroll pick with Nick Emanwari. Obviously not in the building no more, but shout out to Charlie Wilson, Seattle Seahawks fan. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is pleased with his draft picks so far. So yeah, I think you're mute.
My bad. I said let's go back to this real quick. I want to point out that Shedeur Sanders trained with Tom Brady. When I say trained with Tom Brady, I should say Tom Brady helped train Shedeur Sanders. For the Raiders to be sitting at what were they, 6 or 9? They're at 6, right?
6, yeah.
For the Raiders to be at 6 and not take Sanders at 6 and then not trade back into the first to get Sanders, it has to be telling that the person that helped train them did not take him. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hey, what's the complaint? Like, the dude that trained them isn't taking them. Raiders are on the clock right now. If they pass him up again, for me and my dollar, he's off my board. If Brady don't want him, why would I want him? You know what I'm saying? Am I tripping?
No, not at all. I do believe with pick 6, like Ashton Genty, I wouldn't have made the pick. Not because he's a bad player. I think the Raiders have other needs, but you can see why they went Ashton Genty over Shedeur Sanders. But like you said, for them to not trade back up into the first to get him, is telling, because at the very least you get that 5th-year option. But maybe they think that the NFL is low on him and they can get him in the 2nd, even the 3rd round. But why would you take that chance? Especially if he's not the pick now, why would you take that chance and wait another minimum 32 picks to go and grab him? So Raiders on the clock at pick 37.
No. Dolphins on the clock. Raiders traded the pick to the Dolphins. And the pick is in. So the Dolphins traded up. Who did we trade up to get? I hope it's O-line. It's not Shedeur Sanders, I promise you that.
Jonah Savaiinaea, maybe. Or like I said, maybe it's a safety. Maybe they think that one at safety is going to go.
So we jumped up in front of New England and Chicago. 11 spots.
I can't imagine New England. New England went tackle in the 1st round. Can't imagine they go offensive line. Although doubled it the chip, get more help for Drake May protecting him. And Chicago went pretty. They improved their offensive line quite a bit in free agency. So
let's scramble the Jets, see what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not looking on social media. I'm not trying to find out who the pick is earlier.
No. I'm trying to find out what the trade is.
I will check Rap Sheet for that. Rap Sheet wouldn't say anything early. Rap Sheet. Oh, Charlie, I'm moving the pick.
Alec Ingold announcing the pick.
We got a trade here. The Las Vegas Raiders have traded the 37th pick to the Miami Dolphins. With that being said, the 37th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select Jonah, Savaiinaea.
Let's go!
Arizona. Let's go.
If I walk about
what up, Oos?
What up, Oos? Charlie, is that Touche's 24?
Touche's 24. Jonah
Touche's 24.
Touche's 24 is Jonah Savaiinaea, bro. The Dolphins are trying to please social media right now in Dolphins Nation. Bro, Jonah Savaiinaea is going to be a 1 helmet player. So when we wanted that 1 helmet player in the 1st round, we're going to get him in the 2nd. And all of a sudden, the draft is shaping up. And Oos got another Oos on the squad.
Charlie, I just moved into a brand new flat. We have made so much noise in the past week of me being here. I can't imagine they're too happy at me at 12:30 screaming, "Let's go." Jason Keck said, if this isn't Jonah S, I'll be pissed. I know Jason Keck wasn't too happy with our 1st round selection because it was an offensive line. We weren't too happy given that it was Kenneth Grant. But Charlie, what would you rate this pick? A grade.
This is an A+. You traded up to get him. Hopefully we didn't trade this. Oh, we got the compensation. Dolphins acquire the number 37 and number 143 from the Raiders for picks 48, 98, and 135.
So we're not
37.
picking.
We received 37 and 143 for picks 48, 98, and 135.
So we're not picking again as it stands on day 2.
No, we're not. But I'm okay with this because we fortified the trench.
We said there was no way the Dolphins. Well, no way. It was very, very unlikely the Dolphins would pick 10 picks. They went into the draft with 10 picks. We're like, they're not making 10 picks. But they went up and grabbed who they believe is a guy, who's a dude. We were very high on him over here on Go Time Dolphins. As Charlie said, he is a Charlie Touche. So that's in the last 4 years, that 4 players from they average 1 a year. Defender Podcast, Javon Holland, Devon Achan, Tony K.
One a year.
Hold on. Todd Washington was in there, I believe.
No. Malik Washington.
So that's
we're averaging more than 1 a year.
So that's 4, and now Jonah Savaiinaea, that's 5.
And you know, Jonah Savaiinaea got big over social media, and everybody started getting in on him, and everyone seen him. And I cannot wait till we start replaying some of the clips and how far back did we mention Jonah Savaiinaea, and how long ago did he get his was the first time we mentioned Jonah Savaiinaea, so everyone can say, "Oh yeah, yeah." So it doesn't even matter to me, bro. Actually, I thought it did, but it doesn't matter because this is doing what you're supposed to do. What happens if the next pick is O-line? Like, I'm extremely happy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm good. Like, I know I felt some type of way about the Kenneth Grant pick, but I'm happy with this, bro. It could not have went any better than this. Like, one player that you hope I think we said it yesterday before the podcast ended. What's the one player that you want? Hey, everybody else is gone. Let's go get Jonah Savaiinaea. Not only did we get him, we did go up to go get him too.
Charlie, I said it probably 10 minutes ago. I was like, go and get. I was like, Jonah Savaiinaea at Pickford Jake would be my ideal, but they didn't wait. And again, Dolphins social media. Shout out to Coach Jim Fuller. Chris Greer nailing the draft was not in the books. Let's effing go. Dougley do wrong. Chris Greer, you son of a gun. Reason, Jonah incoming. See Charlie Wilson's stupid face on my timeline. This is so good. Talking about talking about Nick Iminwari. Go away, man. I ain't trying to talk to you right now. Who else? Yeah, Charlie, Chris Greer nailing the draft. All those Chris Greer haters. It's going to be funny if the Dolphins, for whatever reason, don't have a good season. He flopped again. It's like, no, because on draft night, everyone loves these first 2 picks. Now, obviously, there's others to go. But no, it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. So
we gave up our second, our third, and a 4th, compensatory 4th, and acquired the Raiders 2nd and the Raiders 5th. So in essence, you do lose that 3rd and that 4th. I'm okay with that because that 4th probably isn't. Well, I don't want to say probably isn't a starter, but the likelihood of that 4th being a starter is unlikely. And in that 3rd, okay, cool. This the cost of moving up. I'm okay with this, bro. And then he does have some flexibility and can play tackle if you need him to, which was what we were talking about. Chris Greer always drafting a lineman with versatility. He will play guard for us, but he can't play tackle if it gets down to it. I'm super cool with this. And Sherrod Steve hit me with the text of I think it's Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt rubbing his hands.
Oh yeah, in the white shirt, yeah, from Parks and Rec. So the Dolphins have 1/4 and 3/5. And Rob asked earlier, think we may get back in later.
I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what do we have left to get back in later.
This 1 4 3/5, a couple of 6 and 7s.
So yeah, so we have 116, 143, 150, and 155. So that's 3/5 and a fourth, and then you have 2 7s. But Kadeem, you also have Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah. And also,
you also have Jalen Ramsey. So do not be shocked if you see the Dolphins pop up again today with Jalen Ramsey being moved somewhere so the Dolphins could get another top 100 pick. Trayvon Henderson to the Patriots. No one cares.
Rob says, also Ramsey trade away. Jason Keck is having joygasms over here. IMAX is happy. And then Jason Keck says, I owe Greer an apology. I said he wouldn't trade up, and he said he sits in his hands. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I think
that's big. That's an apology from Jason Keck, bro. That was not on the bingo card, bro.
I think what's telling is, the Dolphins prior to the draft said, they were going to focus on the trenches, focus on the offensive line, and given Chris Greer's comments about the offensive line previously, was like, dude, like, you're a year too late. But you go and get an absolute dude on paper in Jonah Savaiinaea. I read something yesterday which said that, they're basically saying the reason, or the pick 13 being defensive tackle was a good pick because you have 4/5 of your line solidified, and you've got both your tackles, Patrick Paul and friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson. You've got your center in Aaron Brewer, and you've got James Daniels. Now, yes, there's question marks around James Daniels' availability at the start of the season, but once he's back, if you can get the James Daniels we've seen over the last few years, you have a good guard. Charlie isn't happy with the James Daniels pickup, but
I don't like that either. You know what I'm saying? But can you pull up 2 Shades 24? Is it available? Do we have it here?
I have it available.
Shout out to the stream. Shout out to the live. Hit the subscribe button. Hit that like button when you get a chance. Shout out to the audio listeners who is playing this back. If y'all could leave us a 5-star review and on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, it goes a long way for Go Time Dolphins. We got 300 plus on the live right now. This is a, bro, I'm excited. I'm changing up the hat too, man. We changing up the hat. We changing up the hat, man.
I wish I could. It doesn't quite go with the
switch it up.
All right,
switch it up.
Charlie, bear with me right now. So
no, you good. So hey, look. So as Kadeem pulls up 2 Shades 24, there's a reason why I wanted Kadeem to pull up 2 Shades 24, but we cannot be more excited about Jonah Savaiinaea. So excited because if you look at 2 Shades 24, the biggest person on the graphic, in the middle of the graphic, is Jonah Savaiinaea. Right there, smack dab in the middle of the graphic is number 71. Not just his name right there, but his picture flexing. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, man, I'm happy. I'm happy about this, bro. There's no way I cannot be happy about this.
Listen, I personally think the Jonah Savaiinaea pickup and the fact that they moved up to go and get him and what they've given away, I'm content with knowing that Seth McLaughlin will not be a Miami Dolphin.
Start the press, Kadeem. Start the press. We don't know that. You know why? Just because of what I was about to say. Remember that time where I said if the Dolphins go 3 O linemen and then 3 D linemen, and it doesn't matter what we do after that, I would not be mad at it. Remember when I said that, Kadeem?
I do, yeah.
This draft is so deep with O-line and D-line that now you have 3 fifth-round picks. You're more than likely going to come out with another O-lineman and another D-lineman because it's that deep. So, in essence, the Dolphins, we traded away a 3 and a 4, but there's a chance that the Dolphins go 2 O-line and 2 D-line. And obviously, we lost 2 picks because we traded up to solidify a starter. But you're not gonna miss with Jonah Savaiinaea, bro. This you're not missing. And I think who was it? Barry Jackson. He said for everyone who says just draft O-line in the second round, Chris Greer hasn't hit in the second round. Like he only hit once in the second round with O-line. I could chalk this up for number 2 for sure.
I'm looking at every Chris Greer pick on day 2. Xavier Howard, Kenyon Drake, Leonte Carew, Raekwon McMillan.
Hold on. That's not fair. That's not fair.
What?
We can't not give him blame for not being the sole GM, and then give him credit for drafting people when Tannenbaum was here.
That is true. So the whole annoying thing with the Chris Greer era is that yes, he was GM in 2016, but he was still answering to Mike Tannenbaum. So let's go 2019. 2019. Michael Dieter, who was with the Commanders last year, starting center. Friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, Raekwon Davis, friend of the podcast, Brandon Jones, friend of the podcast, Javon Holland, Liam Eichenberg, Hunter Long, Channing Tindall, 20K Cam, friend of the podcast, Devon Achan, podcast, apologies, Two Chase 24's Devon Achan, and Patrick Paul. So, yeah, the jury's still out on Patrick Paul, friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt, and hopefully he can go 2 for 3 with offensive linemen. Question from Rob. What side will Jonah play?
I say keep him on his natural side and make James Daniel play left guard. I think Jonah should play right guard and James Daniel should play left guard because Jonah can still potentially play right tackle. I don't see him as a right tackle. I see him as a right guard. So it'll be friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson and Jonah Savaiinaea on the right side, Aaron Brewer in the middle. And then you have James Daniel and Patrick Paul on the left side.
I think there is an argument to be made that, you go friend of the podcast, Austin Jackson at right tackle, Jonah Savaiinaea at right guard, and you move or you play James Daniels at left guard to kind of give Patrick Paul some quote unquote veteran help during the season, basically, given that Patrick Paul, you play Patrick Paul and Jonah Savaiinaea alongside each other may not be the best idea given the limited snaps in the NFL. But that's just me if I'm thinking big brain overthinking things. Jonah Savaiinaea is hopefully a day 1 starter. And won't need the veteran help that I speak of at the moment. So we shall see how it all pans out. Let's see if we have any other see if you have any negative. Shout out to Tilly. Tilly's a day 1 over here at Go Time Dolphins. We got another Oos. I love it. Welcome, Jonah Savaiinaea. Richmond Webb. Fair to call him friend of the podcast, Richmond Webb?
It is. Friend of the podcast, Richmond Webb.
Friend of the podcast, Richmond Webb says, the game is one of the trenches. Welcome home, Mr. Savaiinaea. Kevin Dern says, I get it. Oh, my days. It's way too early and way too much lack of sleep to say this word. I get it philosophically. Got it. I get it regarding the player. I get it in terms of team need. Feels steep, and I take it means going up and getting him. Tyler DeSena, also being the podcast, says, do I love the trade up and not being able to make another pick tonight? No, but I love the player and I love the pick. Reason says the Miami Dolphins are changing the tone in the trenches and trying to kill the soft narrative. Let's effing go. And then someone said on the trade value based on the Rich Hill trade model, it's 564.5 points against 566.5 points. Love the pick. Steep trade value, in my opinion, but based off the chart, it's almost equal value. Listen, it's even Carl Crabb loves the tweet, which is hilarious. It's what can I say?
Bro, this was the safest pick you could make for the rest of the draft. The safest pick you could have made in round 1 was Gray Zabel. We did not go Gray Zabel. After Donovan Jackson left, after he was drafted in the first round, the next safest pick, the safest pick of the draft, is Jonah Savaiinaea. So did you have to trade a 3rd and a 4th? You got back a 5th? Okay, you got back a 5th. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? You can still package some stuff to get back up in here if you wanted to, if you so desired. You can still package some things up and come back. But I don't think we absolutely have to, bro. I don't think we have to package anything. You have 3 5th-round picks. You can still come out with a safety and another D lineman that will do damage for us. And then you could also come out with another O lineman that would put Eichenberg further back on the depth chart with 3 5s. I think GTD affiliate Dern said it was steep, the price. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't expensive. It was, hey, you get what you pay for.
I think
the Saints, the pick is in for the Saints, and Tyler Shuck is a Saint. He is the pick in the 2nd round, not Shedeur Sanders.
I think it was not Rap Sheet. Who's the other? Might be Schefter.
Palacero?
No, I think it was Schefter. Said that don't be surprised if Tyler Shuck and Muro go before Sanders. Like, listen, I'm not surprised. What I find funny is, and again, it's after the Kenneth Grant pickup, people were tweeting and saying, "Oh, he would have been there at pick in the 20s, blah blah." But it's like, based on a mock you did, and mocks don't mean anything. Because I can sit here and go, "Oh well, the Saints shouldn't have gone Tyler Shuck because in our mocks we were picking him up in the 4th and 5th round." Okay, good for you in your AI computer. That means nothing in real life when the Dolphins move up 12 spots to go and get Jonah Savaiinaea.
I think 11, but we'll go with it.
Yeah, and Shedeur Sanders is still on the board. Like you don't know. So find it hilarious.
Listen, I know Chris Greer is not like he might have a tone. He might have a pulse on the fan base, on the mob, right? But in no way, shape, or form is a maybe I shouldn't say this, and I'll tell you why I shouldn't say it after I say it. But no way, shape, or form is a general manager of a football team with his family, his career, and his job on the line, and the franchise on the line, gonna listen to the mob just to please them. So, but you gotta be like, yo, for the Dolphins social media to be happy about both of these picks and get the guard that everyone wanted you to get, you just got like, it's almost like you're like, all right, hey, don't come for my job no more. I'm gonna give y'all what y'all want. That's almost what it felt like. But obviously, I don't think a GM will do that. And the reason why I said maybe I shouldn't say that is because there are some owners and GMs that listen to their kids and their wives. Shout out to who was it? Matt Rule. His wife told him to take Chuba Hubbard. He picked up Chuba Hubbard. Obviously, we know the story about the GM for the Giants, whose son told him to trade up for Jaden Daniels. Didn't do it. Now he got Jackson Dart. His son putting up Jackson Dart tweets before they even draft him. You also have what's the kid from the Paper Planes? Woody Johnson.
Woody Johnson, yeah.
Woody Johnson's son telling him to only pick players with good ratings in Madden. And it turns out the Ravens GM confirms it. Oh, yeah, we look at Madden ratings and we use it as a part of the process. All right, nah, bro. I don't ever want to hear someone say it's not a video game. You can't do my job. I can do your job, and it is like a video game, Holmes.
What's crazy is that Madden comes out after the draft. So if you're going off Madden ratings for draft players, that's virtually impossible because, bro, they don't exist. Now, college football's back out, so you can be like, hey, okay, he was a 99 of college football, and that's another conversation. But if you're using Madden ratings in the draft, okay, like Kenneth Grant isn't in Madden right now. So what draft ratings are you looking at? That's crazy. As someone said in the comments, I believe the Bills have traded up with the Bears. Or the Bills have traded up, swapped places with the Bears. So the Bills have seen what Miami has done and said, "Hey, we aren't sitting and waiting no more. We are moving up to go and get our guy." Let's see. Bill get picked 56, 62, and 109. The Bears receive pick 41, 72, and 240.
Say that again, Kadeem. I missed it. I got my phone going off.
So the Bills have moved up to pick 41. Yeah, I don't like this.
I don't like it either.
No, I don't. Sorry, I don't like the way Bleach Report have reported that. To me, that made zero sense. So let's see what Rap Sheet. So the Bills trade pick 56, 62, and 109 to Chicago for 41, 72, and 240. And the Bills went cornerback in the first round. Rob says, Will Johnson to go here? For the Bills to trade up and double it the chip at cornerback with a corner with potential knee issues is interesting. That is interesting. We'll see what.
Dang. How you feel? How would you feel if Will Johnson got the 98?
And the Dolphins aren't on the board no more. It's life. The Dolphins went up and got their guy. You know, it's funny. It's different if the Dolphins moved up to go and get someone who I didn't really want. I'd be like, well, they shouldn't have done that. But
I think he might go here to the Paper Plains right after the Buffalo pick. I can see Will Johnson going to the Paper Plains. They got Sauce and Aaron Glenn was a corner.
They lost. Who's the corner they lost in the offseason? DJ Reed. DJ Reed.
I don't know.
Regardless, so no, it'll be interesting to see.
Hold on, they're announcing the Buffalo pick right now. Get it out.
Yeah.
TJ Sanders, D tackle.
Charlie, you know it's really annoying. So, as I said, I went on Twitter to go to Rap Sheet to see what the Dolphins traded, not thinking he would announce the pick.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw the pick and I was like, oh, and like having to contain what the pick was, not one to give away at all. Fair play. So yeah, the Bills move up for defensive lineman. I can kind of see why, given how many went in the first round. Also, shout out to the Steelers picked Harmon, didn't they?
The lineman.
Yeah, defensive lineman Harmon.
Yeah.
Did you hear his story?
I just closed it. Yeah, I did. Do you want to tell us?
Yeah. So he said that his mum was on life support in hospital. So once he got picked, he went straight to hospital to tell his mum, I've been taking the first round, picked by the Pittsburgh Steelers. And unfortunately, his mum passed away today being Friday. So yeah, it's, as for those who know me, I'm not the most religious person. But I do believe that, his mum held on just to hear that he got picked in the first round and, can move on to a better place knowing that her son, fulfilled a lifelong dream. So it's a sad story, one that, has some happiness in it, but I can only imagine the wave of emotions for him and his family, the highs of the highs and the lowest of the lows. And I say that as someone, who today buried their grandmother. It's yeah. So condolences to him and his family. Let's see how the rest of his life pans out.
Everybody's got a story that's quite the testimony. And you know, Kadeem, we could chop it up about the other side whenever we get off the podcast. Whenever you want it, I got it, bro. I got you, bro. You already know. Jets on the paper planes are on the clock. And I think this is gonna be Will Johnson, Kadeem. I really do. Like that is a paper plane type of pick, although that whole front office is not the same. But Aaron Glenn is Aaron Glenn. So how bad is this Will Johnson injury, bro? Because once upon a time, I thought it was just turf toe. And then all of a sudden, like 4 days ago, it was a knee injury. Like, oh no, this is more than that. It's a hamstring. They say he didn't run at his pro day because of his hamstring, but more people are saying it's a knee. So now it sounds like he's hiding something. So it's like, I don't know. And I told you I was really weary about turf toe. I said turf toe, bro. So, man, bro, this I hate that for dude. I would hate it even more if he went to a team I didn't want to go to. So if you want to hold on to the 5th round, Will Johnson, I appreciate you.
We have some quotes from Chris Greer, and Mike McDaniel. So Chris Greer said they're exploring options to get back into the draft tonight. Chris Greer said they became very convicted on taking Jonah Savaiinaea while getting to know him throughout this process. Offensive lineman coach Butch Barry had a private workout with him, and the team hosted him on a 30 visit. Said they believe he's a starter for them at guard. He also said the door is not entirely closed when it comes to reconciling with Jalen Ramsey, and he said he's not worried about the cost of possibly missing a good cornerback on day 2 based on draft capital used tonight. Hey, Asante Samuel Jr. still out there.
Chris Greer said the door is not completely closed on Jalen Ramsey, on reconciling with Jalen Ramsey.
That's what he said, yeah.
And report says irreparable.
Hey, reports. I say reports. We were told that Gray's able to Miami was a lock at pick 13. And you know, that was one person, but then also I say do the math. If you read the report, the initial Jalen Ramsey story was that the Dolphins asked him to take a pay cut, and that's how they fell out. And the person who wrote that story had to come out and say, my bad, got it wrong. Sorry, don't kill me. So, you know, as a journalist, that's painful to do. But you know, and we hear some stuff in our group chats about, you know, the relationship between Jalen Ramsey and coach. But yeah, and Tyler TV, thank you very much. Yeah, I laid my nan to rest today. An amazing send-off. Charlie, I don't know if you heard. I got 2 hours sleep this morning. Got into bed at 5, up again at 7:30. Didn't manage to get a 2-hour nap before today, before this, but yeah, you can tell it's funny. After the Kenneth Grant pick, you can tell the show kind of just went, kind of just nosedive because, you know, the vibes weren't that high. But Jonah Savaiinaea, Miami Dolphin, it's good. Also, what are the paper planes doing? Make the pick. Like, this is insane. This is insane.
It could be Mike Green, and I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah. We'll see.
Mason Taylor. The paper planes take Mason Taylor. And I don't like that at all.
Do you know what?
I think, bro, that's so petty, bro.
I'm pretty sure I said when they was talking about him being like a first round pick, it was like you can see a team in the AFC East grabbing him and going, bro, he's not going to Miami. Like,
Elijah Oro, y'all couldn't take someone else, bro. Y'all, bro. This is why I hate these boys, bro. Like, for these reasons, bro. Like, okay, this is what y'all want. It's back on. Y'all not gonna beat us for 20 seasons. It's back. We're back on.
Had the Dolphins not taken Jonas, if the Dolphins didn't move up, would you take a Mason Taylor at pick 48?
No, I would take Jonas Savaiinaea.
Okay, Savaiinaea is not on the board.
Yeah, he's in the conversation. Everyone is in the conversation. Donovan Ezraku, Mason Taylor, Xavier Watts, Will Johnson, Mike Green, all them boys, Arroyo, all them boys are on. Bro, I like this Jonah Savaiinaea pick so much. It's like we can't go wrong now. Like, bro, we don't have any picks to go wrong now. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I'm saying? Like, we have fifths, and you're not going to be held to the. No one's going to take you to court for fifths. Like, oh, how come these 5th round picks ain't working out? Nah, bro.
People will. People will. This team took a 5th round pick and so, and he's now an all pro. And Brett Coleman, one of the bigger YouTube draft people, said for the first time in years, the Miami Dolphins are a tough football team again. Hell of a draft so far. Doug said, oh no, that was so Doug D1 said 6 hours ago. Address cornerback, offensive guard, and or safety today, and I'm happy. I'd love if we got Jonah Savaiinaea at 48 and either Jacob Parrish, Darren Porter, or Andrew McCuba at 98. Yeah, it's fun that Miami Dolphins are like singing, fans are singing in harmony, like not full harmony because we weren't the highest on Kenneth Grant, but Jonah Savaiinaea.
Hey,
yeah,
all the mocks that I've done, every single one of them. Whenever I took Jonah Savaiinaea at 48, I'm like, well, he's not going to be here in real life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hope we could grab him at 48, but he's not going to be here in real life. And it's like the Dolphins are like, nah, he's not going to be here in real life either. So we're going to have to go up above 48 to get him. And thinking about a 3 and a 4, but you get back a 5th. But think about a 3 and a 4. I'm not mad at it, bro. It's you paid the price. I don't think it's that expensive of a price. I don't think it's cheap at all, and I don't think it's expensive. But I'm cool with this, bro.
Someone who isn't happy, Omar Kelly. Honestly, not a fan of this trade. Being thirsty cost you a 3rd round pick. What I find, and again, I think in a draft like this, where you could probably go, had you sat at 48, you could have taken a good offensive lineman, and then at 98 in 3rd, gone safety or whatever. Yep. Again, I can see that.
Yeah, however, for sure. I agree.
However, you moving up and getting what some people, and again, there's all different compliments you can pay to Jonah Savaiinaea. Last year, people were saying that he's going to be a 1st round pick. Obviously, we're not a 1st round pick, a 2nd round pick. People saying this is, he has all pro potential, all that kind of stuff. Going up and getting your guy, I feel like so many people, me and Five Ali have these conversations on a daily basis. It feels like you don't know your guy's going to be there at 48. You don't know that, and if this is someone who you are convinced is going to work out, you go and get your guy, because you also have other picks to move back up. That doesn't mean that right now the Dolphins aren't. Sorry, factually, the Dolphins aren't picking again until the 4th round. But you can go and again, you can go and move up again. If the Dolphins go up and move up again, give up, I don't even care about the capital at this point. Because, if you take 2 7ths and a 5th and move up into the 3rd or whatever, those 2 7ths and a 5th, no one cares about. Do you know what I mean? So the Dolphins had 10 picks going into this draft. We kept on saying they're not picking 10 guys. And yes, that 3rd round pick does feel like, damn, what could have been.
Yeah.
But,
because I did want Savaiinaea Williams. You know what I'm saying? That would have been nice, but it is what it is. I'm not tripping.
Yeah. Jason Keck, see your guy, get your guy. 100%. It is what it is. I'm seeing clips of Jonah Savaiinaea on my timeline. Especially, clips of him at tackle, but people say he's going to move at guard. Obviously, Chris Greer believes he can play guard. King of Finland tweeted, trade Jalen Ramsey for an early third and pick and draft his replacement. Could happen.
I mean, it's hard to do that because we got Jalen Ramsey for a third.
Yeah.
So once you drive the car off the lot, it loses value. But you could get a fourth for Jalen Ramsey. And my thing is, if you trade Jalen Ramsey and a fifth, you can 1,000,000% get a third. You see what I'm saying? So you got 2 fifths now. You could package Ramsey and a fifth. And yeah, well, they got Matthew Golden on TV right now, and the draft is in Green Bay, and they got signs that say green and golden.
I like that.
I love the sport, bro. I love the sport.
Barry Jackson says Dolphins had a guard who was reportedly mocked to them at 48. They move up to 37 to get him. And again, it's like, yeah, good.
Hold on. The same Barry Jackson that said don't be so excited about Chris Greer hitting in the second round because he hasn't hit on that many second round linemen. So now when it's projected that he has hit, you're upset that he went up and got it done. That's funny. That is funny.
But again, it's that mentality. Oh, he was mocked there. Charlie, we mentioned it in one of our last episodes before the draft. 2020 draft. Josh Jones, you saw the pick, didn't you?
Cowboys take Touche 24, Donovan Ezeraku, and that ensures that he's a hit for me. Like he's not gonna bust in Dallas. It's a wrap. Y'all might as well. I don't like the term, but y'all might as well give me all my credit right now.
Donovan Ezeraku and Michael Parsons coming off the edge. It's going to be fun. But yeah, Josh Jones, I feel like every single mock in 2020 had Josh Jones going to the Dolphins at 18.
Mm-hmm.
Every single mock. And he went in the third round. And you could argue that, the Cardinals got Josh Jones in the third when he was mocked to be a first round pick, but it's a mock. Like, as the moment, especially in this year's draft, the moment Cleveland moved up, so Cleveland traded back and didn't take Travis Hunter, every single mock in the world goes out the window. Yes, Travis Hunter went second overall, which people kind of expected, but not to Jacksonville, because everyone said that Jacksonville was going to get Ashton Genty. Charlie, we were told beforehand, hey, Jacksonville, Ashton Genty. Once the first butterfly effect happens, mocks go out the window. I don't want to hear, but I mocked him here. And no, like, I don't care. It means nothing. Your mocks mean nothing.
But not only does the mocks mean nothing, what he said doesn't mean anything either. And shout out to Barry Jackson. I don't know him to dislike him, but at the same time, it's like if you sat at 48 and Savaiinaea got picked at 46, that headline would have been Dolphins weren't aggressive enough to get their guy. You know what I'm saying, bro? I said Greg Zabel is the safest pick in the draft. The second safest is Donovan Jackson. The third safest is Jonah Savaiinaea. And they're all three of them are O-linemen. Straight up. Like, bro, I'm cool with this. I'm super cool with this. No one can tell me anything about what the Dolphins, you should feel some type. Nah, we're good with this pick. I'm good with this. I wish I had this same feeling about yesterday, though, because then I would be through the roof, and then people would be like, Charlie Touche is never negative when the Dolphins make a pick. But nah, bro, like, would have been nice to end up with Greg Zabel and Jonah Savaiinaea. That would have been, bro. I would have put the South Park picture up. That would have been my Avi.
So just getting some. Some interesting stuff. Shout out to 5 Yard Lee and Tom Valentine from PFF. And there was also, so I just saw a tweet as well. Chris Greer was asked if he's worried about the Dolphin situation at cornerback, and he said the draft's not over. Which is true. Like, again, it's yeah.
So some corners you can look for in the 4th round, because we have 116 still, is Upton Stout and Jabbar Muhammad. I don't think Jabbar Muhammad would be there. Upton Stout might be, because he's a bit smaller. Jabbar Muhammad is smaller too, but Jabbar Muhammad can play outside better than Upton Stout can. But they'll both play inside really well. But we have Kader Kohu, and we only have Kader Kohu for this season, so don't get it twisted. And if you want to really protect that cap, you could draft Kader Kohu's replacement this year and feel real good about it. Shout out to KP.
I was just about to say KP.
Shout out KP.
Charlie, a really dope tweet from at Michael Esquero, reporter for Hawaii Sports Radio Network. He said, former St. Louis Crusader Jonah Savaiinaea gets drafted at pick number 37 by the Miami Dolphins. After starving at Arizona, he will now help keep fellow Crusader Tua Tagovailoa upright in the pocket. That's pretty dope. Let's try and get Mike on a podcast to talk about that kind of lineage, but that's pretty dope.
How about Jason Keck going 2 for 2 so far? One with an apology that was just unforeseen, and saying what we mentioned the other day. It was all downhill for the Dolphins, Kadeem. It was looking mighty bleak for a little bit. And then I was like, yo, the Paper Planes had the offensive rookie of the year and the defensive rookie of the year on the same draft, which was, who was it? Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson. Same draft. Both of them top 10 picks. So it's a little like, oh, these are top 10 picks. How you going to have, rookie of the year, offensive and defensive? Those top 10 picks. Then the Texans did it with CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. Both of them boys are top 5 picks. So I get it. Don't come at me. But Jason Keck, I feel you. How cool would it be to have the offensive rookie of the year, Jonah Savaiinaea, and the defensive rookie of the year, Kenneth Grant, on the same team? It's possible, bro. And if I'm being honest, they don't even have to win the award. They could just be in the conversation, and that means they're doing really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, like this changes some things, bro. This changes. I don't want to say I'm not saying I'm back, but it changes some things.
100%. Yeah. Omar Kelly finds it hilarious that Jason Taylor will now have to cheer for the Jets now that it's selected his son Mason. I'm not finding it funny at all. But me and Omar Kelly have different opinions, so is what it is.
What happened?
Omar Kelly tweeted, "It's hilarious to know that Jason Taylor will now have to cheer for the Jets now that they selected his son Mason."
Bro, that's evil, bro. That's evil.
Petty as well. Thank you, Rob. So he said that. Sorry, 2 secs. Yeah, Jonah Savaiinaea. The relative athletic score, which a lot of people do take a look at with prospects and stuff like that. On March 31st, I should say, teams are looking at him as a guard, and his relative athletic score scored a 9.84 out of possible 10. That's ranked 28 out of 1,720 guards from 1987 to 2025. So scored extremely high. So yeah, it's interesting, really interesting, and yeah, we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, so Nick Hicks has tweeted the video of Mason Taylor hearing that he's a New York Jet, and yeah, Jason Taylor, Joy Taylor sitting there alongside him. Well, I think it's Joy Taylor, probably not, but yeah. Make sure I haven't missed anything else.
Just hit up William Hayes. Try to see if we can get him on the podcast to talk about what it's like to be drafted as a D lineman in the NFL. Since we drafted a D lineman in the NFL first overall, we're gonna see what he says. See if he can jump on the podcast with us. Former Miami Dolphin William Hayes. Shout out Will Hayes.
Kenneth Grant says, call him KG or Kenny. We can do better than that. But I'll go with KG. I prefer KG than Kenny. Kenny's remind me of South Park. It's interesting.
The
primary school I went to was called South Park. I will never forget when South Park first came out, and
hold on. Your school was named South Park?
Yeah.
Kadeem, this is like we're about to begin our 6th season of Go Time Dolphins, and we just now found out you went to South Park.
Yeah, I went to South Park. Yeah, but I will never forget. So must have been about 8 or 9, maybe like 10 maximum. And South Park's coming. It's like, okay, my mom allowed me to stay up to watch South Park because I went to South Park school. And within 5 minutes was like, you best go to bed. You cannot watch this TV show. The effing and the jeffing, and yeah, it was a very, very fun moment. Also, what's interesting, after night 1, Chris Greer said the Dolphins were willing to move up or down for the right player. They sure did move up. They sure did move up.
Hey, Terrence Ferguson drafted to the Rams. Oh wait, yeah, Terrence Ferguson drafted to the Rams over Elijah Arroyo and Harold Fanning Jr.
Harold Fanning, yeah. So yeah, again, still do believe there should be at least another offensive lineman taken before the end of the draft for the Dolphins, simply because I'm not trying to see Lee Meichenberg next year. Can't lie. That's just my opinion. And yeah, we'll see how that all pans out. Don't need that no more.
How deep this draft is? If the Dolphins, if a team, if you do your due diligence, you can be able to find a rotational piece in the 5th round that has starter traits, starter abilities, if they're O-line or D-line. That's how deep this draft is. There were 37-ish starting, all right, 37-ish D linemen that had a 3rd round grade, 1st to 3rd round grade. Obviously, all of them aren't going in the first 3 rounds. Same thing with O-line. It was like 31 or 34 that had a 1st to 3rd round grade. And obviously, all of them aren't going in the 1st and 3rd round. So you're going to have starting caliber offensive linemen and defensive linemen in this draft as Will Johnson is removed from the board and goes 47 to the Cardinals. Will Johnson is an Arizona Cardinal.
Fair play. So it's getting my bearings. Yeah,
bro. When Will Johnson is healthy, bro, he's the best corner, bro. He in the draft when he's healthy, like I apparently everyone knows something, bro. And it's not like, because my thing is, how bad is this injury that y'all can't just redshirt this dude for 1 season? You know what I'm saying? How bad is it?
What I find, again, imagine a world in which the Dolphins didn't move up. They've taken that pick 48, but like Jonah Savaiinaea is off the board. You're thinking, okay, Will Johnson, pick 48. And the Cardinals went, nope. And you're sitting at 48 going, snap. Anyway,
or they take Jonah Savaiinaea at 47.
Yeah. I think with Will Johnson as well, there's that, I know a lot of people think that insiders do draft prospects dirty when they announce injuries, because it's like, okay, this draft person has announced an injury, that person's fallen. It's like, dude, teams know. Teams aren't waiting for Rap Sheet to say that Will Johnson's injured. Teams know that Will Johnson is injured before Rap Sheet knows Will Johnson is injured. Let's be completely honest.
Rap Sheet is just putting it in the general public, so we're knowledgeable of it. We have the knowledge.
Exactly. So, I know there's probably, I can assume there's a part of Will Johnson where it's like, 32 teams passed on me in the first round, and then a bunch of others passed on me in the second round as well. I'm going to, when healthy, I'm going to ball out. I'm going to prove to all of you guys I was a first round top 10 pick. But I think with this corner draft class in general, a lot of guys would have been, not first round picks, but guys who are really, really talented, but are falling because of injury. And Will Johnson's probably the biggest name, but there's some other dudes who was like, hey, this guy's a dude, but he cannot stay healthy. And it'll be interesting to see if the Dolphins, who they take. I do believe they'll take a corner in this draft, who it is, and the injury history, because I think it's might be difficult to find a really good corner who, is 100% fit coming into the draft. So, again, so, dude, I need to get this guy on the podcast, but I know he's ducking me. Brian Catt.
I don't know if he's ducking you, Kadeem, because you kind of took a shot, bro. Like maybe it's not a duck. It's like, yo, you over here taking shots. Now you want me on your podcast.
Hey, welcome to the world of social media. I done it in a. I don't care. Listen, I take shots. If you don't like it, stay silent on social media. He says, if you're the Miami Dolphins, how do you make this trade to move up 11 spots and like 2 more picks on fire? Like the player, hate the trade. Which is fair. That's happening when you trade up. You tend to lose a few picks, and yeah.
I don't care, Kadeem.
I don't care either.
No one's gonna tell me this is a bad pick. I know that for sure. Like there's no one out there that could convince me that we gave up too much for this pick. Nobody. Everyone who said, "Oh, we shouldn't have let Rob Hunt walk out the door," you know what I'm saying? He wanted $100 million, $100 million, $100 million, $100 million. Nah, bro. We just got Jonah Savaiinaea now. So let me ask you this, Dolphins Nation. Would you rather, if you could have Rob Hunt still, but give up a 3rd and a 4th this year, would you do it? I think everyone would say yes. I think everyone would say, oh, yeah, I'll give up a 3rd and a 4th for Rob Hunt. And here we go with someone of Rob Hunt's caliber, potentially better. And we gave up a 3rd and a 4th. Come on, man. Like, y'all, hey, what we doing? What we doing?
I'm watching a video of Jonah Savaiinaea being told he's becoming a Miami Dolphin. What I love is that on the table, I'm going to assume he's flanked by both his parents. He's in, traditional Hawaii attire. Is it the ulafala, the thing around your neck? I don't know if I'm watching wrestling.
It's called a lei. I was looking for my lei. When we drafted him, I have a lei, but it's not in this apartment. It's back home. So I like, dang, I was gonna get laid.
I'm gonna ask Tilly or someone what's the difference between a lei and an ulafala. Now, again, in wrestling.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, ask her right now. Hit her up right now.
No, I will do. Yeah, in wrestling, Roman Reigns wears the ulafala, and it's like, okay, but yeah, I don't want to try and get it wrong, but yeah, in front of Jonah Savaiinaea, like all 32 team hats, and it's like everyone picking up are gonna be pretty happy, but to the other ones, I'm like dashing them off the table. It's like, no, you don't care about you there, boy. Like,
bro, I cannot wait for a prospect to do that. Like, get these hats out of here.
Exactly.
This is my hat.
Like, hey, like get a jet set, like elbow drop it, and yeah, yeah, Rob, does he think you can trade up and still get good picks? Deluded. No, maybe that's why he's not coming on the pod, because yeah, I'm not. To be fair, he did add, I like the player. Jonah Savaiinaea is a day one starter at right guard in the Robert Hunt mode, but did they need to trade up like they did with Liam Eichenberg in 2021? Yes, they did. Like, that's how I'm going to assume is that he was mocked at full check. You could have waited. That's not how Jennifer drafts work. That is not how it works. He might have been mocked somewhere.
Bro,
however,
hold on. The same team that got sniped for Todd Gurley, so we had to draft Devontae Parker. We gonna wait. He's only 2 spots away. We just gonna wait for stuff. But hey, stop. You know what? I forgot. If we weren't recording a podcast right now, Kadeem, I'd be like, yo, I don't care what social media says. Stop bringing them into my world. You know what I'm saying? But I forgot that this is what we're doing right now. Ariante Ursary, to the Texans. Offensive tackle replaces Laremy Tunsil.
Interesting. Yeah, we knew that. That's not important. So yeah, no, it's yeah, I saw that as well. Make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, no, so as it stands, if you are just joining us over on Twitter or on YouTube, drop a comment. You know what, guys, everyone who's listening right now, do me a favor. Share the video, share this stream. If you're watching on Twitter, be like any one of your friends, yo, I'm watching Go Time Dolphins on Twitter, on YouTube. I think you should jump in, come and say hi, subscribe to the channel. Let's continue to grow this channel, grow the platform, continue to grow the Go Time Dolphins community. I don't have the hat with me right now, but as I said yesterday, I will say again, if you sign up to our Patreon during the draft, Go Time Dolphins /Patreon, you will have the chance to win a orange Go Time Dolphins trucker hat. And I just looked to my left, and my son's little Charlie's not even there no more. But yeah, I'll say it again when Charlie's back. My son's little boot, I think it's tiny, absolutely tiny. I don't think I can get my fist into it. No, I don't think I get 2 fingers, maybe 3 at best. But yeah, hopefully I didn't wake him up when I screamed, let's go, when we picked up Jonah Savaiinaea. And that will get clipped. I know that for a fact. That's interesting. Charlie, so I was just showing everyone my son's little boot. I think it's tiny in there. Kenneth Grant said he considered wearing 94, but he wants to be his own guy.
Yeah,
so he's leaning.
That's wise.
So he's leaning towards 90.
Oh, Marco Coleman, that's what's up.
So yeah, that is what's up.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Go on.
What number was Christian Wilkins before he was 94?
Was it 13?
On the Dolphins today? On the Dolphins today?
Okay, then no, I have no idea.
I think it was 92. Christian Wilkins' first number. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 92. Christian Wilkins' first number when he played on the Miami Dolphins was 92, and then the next year he switched to 94.
The only one,
like Javon Holland wore 22 before he wore 8, but Javon Holland switched the same season. He didn't have to wear. He didn't have to go a whole season of 22.
Again, the Kadeem curse. I got that 22 Javon Holland jersey, and he said, "Nah, I'm done. I'm done. I'm getting the 8." So yeah, Jonah Savaiinaea, as I was saying, so the Dolphins moved up to get Jonah Savaiinaea, which means they're currently not picking again on day 2 of the NFL draft. It is what it is. But we will stick here just in case, simply because I wouldn't be surprised if the Dolphins move back up into the 3rd to get someone. But also, you just never know. Guys are taken off the board. We can talk about, would have been great if they fell to X, Y, and Z. But we are at pick 50, I believe, with the Seattle Seahawks on the clock.
Here's the thing, though. You gotta start thinking about how can the Dolphins get back into the 3rd round. You got 3/5 and a 4th. I don't see us in the business of trading everything we got to move back into the 3rd round. I don't see it. You have Jalen Ramsey, and with what Chris Greer just said, it doesn't sound like a trade is imminent. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't sound like there's something on the table and Chris Greer has something lined up and a trade is imminent and he's getting moved. So if Chris Greer, if Jalen Ramsey is not moved today, while we're on this podcast in the 3rd round, he's not getting moved until after June 1st. Just makes sense. So how else can we get into the 3rd round? We got Jalen Phillips. I don't know if you're in the business of trading Jalen Phillips, and obviously you depending on his availability when he moves on to another team in the next year or two, you would get a 3rd round compensatory pick the season after he left. So last but not least, you have future picks. And the Miami Dolphins traded a 2025 3rd round pick to trade up to the 4th round of the 2024 draft to select Jalen Wright.
I believe so.
Yeah, so we traded a 2025 3rd round pick to get Jalen Wright. In hindsight, they were right because Jalen Wright will be better than every 3rd round running back in this draft. So they were right about that. However, did we have to go running back? And would we like to have that 3rd round pick but be minus a running back right now? I think we would be happy with a 3rd round pick right now and minus Jalen Wright in the running back room. But I'm cool with it. So how do we get back into the 3rd round this year? I don't think we do. I don't think we're trading future picks to move up to the 3rd round this year. Maybe 4th round next year. 3rd round pick next year to move back up into the 4th round this year, like we did last year. But I don't think we're doing it. So I think we're just spectators for the rest of the draft today.
So be it. Charlie, when you asked me the Christian Wilkins number, what number did you say he wore beforehand?
I said 92.
Rob said 97, unless he swapped.
Oh, it could be 97.
And there's an image of Christian Wilkins number 97 jersey.
Dang, it was 97. I said 92. Dang. It was.
So 97. You hit me with a question, you didn't know the answer.
Hey, easy.
Where's the lie? Where's the lie?
Easy.
I'm just saying. So yeah, Rob, appreciate that. Thank you very much. If that's the pick for Seattle, that's interesting. I saw someone on social media say the Dolphins.
Oh, Seattle selected Elijah Arroyo.
Okay, so what the pick? Yeah. Sometimes, again, like Bleacher Report, be talking about a team and saying they could go here, and they do the highlights. I wasn't too sure. But yeah, what about if the Dolphins traded like a 4th next year or whatever, a pick next year to move back into this year's draft, but then they acquire a pick in that round by moving on from Jalen Ramsey after June 1st.
So we trade a future pick.
Yeah.
To do what? Move into this draft. Which one?
A 4th. So you trade a 4th next year and something to move into the 3rd or 4th round. But then after, you kind of get that pick back, quote unquote, by moving on from Ramsey.
Right. That's what we did with Jalen Wright. But
yeah,
I think it would have to be higher than a 4th to get to the 3rd round. I think it has to be a 3rd. I think it has to be a 3rd, a future 3rd to move into the 4th of this year.
Yeah.
I think I get what the cost is going to be.
No, yeah, it was just people talking about it on social media. Thought I'd raise it. I definitely think it's weird. It's like I see more negativity for the Savaiinaea pick than the Kenneth Grant pick. And the negativity,
get out of here.
And the negativity is simply the trade was too steep to go and get him.
All right. Cool story, bro. Like, listen, like it's funny how the stuff that I like, the consensus doesn't like, and the stuff that the consensus likes is the stuff that I don't like. I need a milkshake, bro. I'll take this protein shake for now.
You zig when everyone zags. But again, it's funny. It's like maybe not so much for you, but I know for myself anyway. When I do disagree with people, and I'm like, hey, let's again, not even in a bad way, but I can understand why it can be quite daunting. It's like, hey, we are restricted by our conversations on social media. We're two guys going back and forth behind a keyboard. I have an entire platform where we can air out our opinion and try and find, a common ground. Silence. Like,
go find Cat and tell him to come on the podcast.
I'll do it again after the draft.
I told you what you got to do, Kadeem. I told you what you got to do. You have to take the clip of when you took a shot at Dog. He will respond to that. If someone shoots someone shoots at me and puts it out on social media in a clip and I don't respond, I'm doing something wrong, bro.
I have a feeling it's more just a case of he doesn't want to argue or debate on YouTube. And again, I get it. I do get it. It's not for everyone. So we'll see how it all pans out and stuff. But
this round is moving. We at the 52nd pick, back at the Titans now.
Fair play. So just seen this tweet from Nike Football.
Oh, Charlie Touche's Olawafemi Oladejo goes to the Titans.
Fair play. So yeah, it's starting this season. Nike and the NFL are elevating select divisional matchups with a rivalries game on each team's home turf, featuring exclusive uniforms and fan gear that bring the unique spirit and intensity of the teams and the fans that they rep at every game. So I'll say that again. Starting this season, Nike and the NFL are elevating select divisional matchups with a rivalries game on each team's home turf, featuring exclusive uniforms and fan gear that bring the unique spirit and intensity of the teams and the fans that rep them at every game. The 2025 season is the NFC West and the AFC East. So we get exclusive uniforms and fan gear, which means Kadeem Simmons is getting brand new uniforms and fan gear this year. Nike can't release new Dolphins uniforms and fan gear, and I'm not getting it. Birthday present. You're on mute.
What is a new uniform? You telling me we're going to play the paper planes in a Nike uniform that's not the throwback Dolphin and is not the modern Dolphin uniform?
Yeah. Exclusive. Charlie, we're going to do a whole episode on this, yeah?
I was about to say that. Like, that's why I stopped. That's why I digress. I'm like, yo, I got some stuff that I want to save for the uniform episode. We got a uniform episode that we do every season, and we got a relocation episode we do every season too. But
and a CTE episode as well.
CTE episode coming out next month, coming out pretty soon actually. Yeah, I got to reach out to a couple guys too. Listen, man, we 300 plus on the live right now. Y'all hit us up, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We appreciate you here on Go Time Dolphins. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. I'm your boy, Charlie Touche. Got my co-host, Kadeem Simmons, with me. It's always for the fans and by the fans. Your favorite podcast, and official affiliates of Fanatics, where you could be a fanatic of your favorite franchise. Shedeur Sanders is falling.
I would say I'm surprised, but I didn't think he'd be sitting at 53 still. I thought someone would take him top of the second. Charlie, question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you're not
there's gonna be so much value with that fourth round pick that's something we could do. We could move up in the fourth.
Yeah,
we could move up from 116. Let's see what that looks like. Go ahead. You had a question, Kadeem?
Yeah. So insiders who tip picks on social media before it's official. Where do you stand on that?
I think there's a market for it. I do not subscribe to it though. I don't like it.
Yeah, I feel like one of those things where it's where social media has kind of taken the draft and transfers and transfers in UK football, trades in the NFL. But I also feel like it's draft day. If you don't want to be tip picked and kind of stay off social media, and again, it kind of sounds out of order.
No, it doesn't. Like Kadeem, I like the show Survivor. I like watching Survivor. I hit it up. I save it, DVR it, whatever, record it, whatever the term is nowadays. I save it. You know what I'm saying? To watch it later. I can't watch Survivor during the football season, or I can't save it like I want to because football is on CBS. Survivor's on CBS. I know I have to watch Survivor before I watch the Dolphin game.
Yeah.
Or see commercials. So it's not like if I'm on social media, I have to know like this is what I get. It comes with the territory. You know what? My bad, Kadeem. It's just like people in South Florida. You're born and raised in Florida. You know you're gonna see gators from time to time in South Florida. You know you're gonna see gators. Like sometimes wild, sometimes in your lake. What's funny is we have developed houses on the swamp, and now it's like nice communities, and then people are outraged that there's gators walking in their backyard. Like, yo, what do you know what I'm saying? What you thought was gonna happen? You feel me? So nah, man, like it comes with the territory, bro. You can't be shocked or surprised, bro.
Yeah, like if we wasn't doing this and I was watching TV, I would watch the draft, find out the pick, and then jump on social media to react, as opposed to watch it through the draft. So really interesting clip. So Quinton Judkins wasn't in the room when the Browns called him to draft him, so his mom picked up the phone. Which I can you imagine?
I think they just showed that. I didn't see it, but I seen something's going on. So go ahead. So his mom picks up the phone.
So you his mom picked up the phone and kind of looking at it, and it's kind of like, what do I do? But I can imagine like you're screaming and then he kind of like comes into the room and he's happy and stuff like that. But it's like, if you don't get your ass into this room right now, yeah, I think
but that's gonna be pretty cool to see because every team is on social media now, so to see the Quinton Judkins phone call when his mom picks up. Hello, this is the Cleveland Browns. Where's Quinton? This is mom. This is mom. Hey mom. This is Andrew Barry. We want to know if Quinton could come to work on Sunday. I will have him. He will be on time. I'll take him myself. Don't worry about it. We'll be there.
Is he in the background going? Nah. Put the phone down.
Tell him I'm not gonna make it. Tell him I'm sick. Tell him not to take me.
Have you seen the clip of when Kelvin Banks gets told he's going to the Saints?
Nah, I haven't seen any of them because I just nah. It's, I want to see them all though. I think it's super dope.
Definitely go check out the Kelvin Banks one. There's a woman with a baby next to him, and like she starts clapping. The baby kind of wakes up because he jolted forward, and then the baby throws up. And it's
you said that. Yeah, he was throwing up. Dang.
But also, it's one of my favorite ones. Let me know in the comments one of your favorite player gets selected and see what he does. Jalen Waddle one where he gets up and
epic with the shades on, with the locks coming out from under the hat. He was ready, like just walked away.
One of the best things, and obviously, you had to come back and say afterwards, like I celebrated, like they just didn't get it in camera, but it's like because at the time he just looks rude. It's like, yo, this what the Dolphins just drafted. Doesn't even celebrate, but it's absolutely hilarious.
JML, tardy for the party, but you still made it. You better late than never. Man, we're excited that we got our guy. You know what I'm saying? Like they say, oh, if that's your guy, you got to go get him. So we're excited that we got Jonah Savaiinaea. I know a lot of people are outraged that we traded up and what we traded to get him. But I'll ask you the same question that I asked the platform, that I asked the stream. If I said you could have Rob Hunt for a third and a fourth right now, would you do it? I'm pretty sure everyone would say yes. And then that's what we got Jonah Savaiinaea for. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah, it's, again, I said it as well. You said it. Others have said it. Given how deep this draft class is and how many holes the Dolphins have, there's okay. We know we're now at pick 51, 52, 53. Someone like Tate Routledge is still on the board. So there's an argument to be made that you could have at 48 gone Tate Routledge, and then kept pick 98 and gotten a safety, all that kind of stuff. However, that's the benefit of hindsight, because you don't know that Tate Routledge would actually be here, because the Dolphins don't move up and take Jonah Savaiinaea. Maybe someone else does. There's so many different conflicting things, and yeah. In an ideal world, you sit at 48, Savaiinaea sitting there, you take him, and then you've got someone at 98. However, if you love someone and you're like, yo, this guy is a dude, and we have to get him in the building, then do it. And what I find interesting, very quickly, sorry, Charlie, people were saying yesterday the Dolphins should trade back into the first to get Will Johnson, the injury-prone corner. It's like, yo, what do you think it would have cost to move back into the first to get Will Johnson? And again, it goes back to fans are happy when the team does something which they would do. If it's not what they would do, it's not a good, like, to me.
And that's why you got to be objective. You know what I'm saying? I would not have done the Tyreek Hill trade, but I was happy that we did it. I'm like, you know what? I wouldn't have done this, but how can I not be happy that we got Tyreek Hill? And then look what it brought us. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, it brought us some of the most exciting football I've seen as an adult Miami Dolphin fan, unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so I wouldn't have done that Tyreek trade, but we did it, and I was happy we did it. I wouldn't have done this Jonah Savaiinaea trade either, but I'm happy that we did it. I'm cool. I'm cool with it.
I think even last year was like the Dolphins traded up for a running back. They got Devon Achane. What are you doing? All that kind of stuff. Then a few games in the season, why isn't Jalen Wright getting more touches? Like, again, at the time, people were furious that we traded up for a running back. And then once they saw the running back play, it was like, hey, actually, it was a good trade. If anything, utilizing him more. If Jonah Savaiinaea is protecting Oos, is pancaking people, give it a few weeks, people aren't gonna care no more. So yeah. Listen, as I've said, if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't already, leave a like on the video. If you are new here, again, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And drop a comment as we are live. We are on the road to 1,500. So I keep saying 1,500. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers on YouTube. We are 103 subscribers away. So if you haven't already subscribed, if you have subscribed and you've got Dolphin fans who are friends, or even just NFL fans, like, hey, these guys, it's primarily Miami Dolphins, but they delve into other teams, other stuff. Share with them, subscribe. It is always, always, always greatly appreciated. It helps us grow to ways you can't even imagine. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Let's continue to grow together.
Wide receiver Trey Harris goes to the Chargers. Second round pick, wide receiver Trey Harris. I thought that's a bit rich. I don't think Trey Harris is a second round pick, but he is now. So shout out to the Chargers for going up and getting him. I don't like that, but cool.
Yeah. What's interesting as well, so if you are just joining us, Charlie wasn't here for the first 5 minutes or so, Charlie.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was thinking, it don't matter because Dolphins picking pick 48. We got time.
I could have missed it.
Yo,
I could have missed it, bro. And I would have came back to Jonah Savaiinaea, but like, no way, I missed that, bro. Bro, I would have wanted that back, bro. I would have been like, hey, we gotta start the stream over. We gotta record, and I have to play it off. Bro. Nah, I can't miss that.
Yeah.
Dang.
It's again the clip of, or there's now clips doing the rounds of Jonah Savaiinaea on the phone talking to the Dolphins saying, "Tell Tua to get ready." Hey, and it's in the next room. I've got my honorary ooze t-shirt. I think I might need to drop that next episode.
Hang on, lie.
Honorary ooze.
Why not? Jonah Savaiinaea jersey on the way. I'm getting a Jonah Savaiinaea jersey. No one gets the O-line love. You know what? Touche's 24. I'm gonna get Jonah Savaiinaea jersey, bro. I like it, bro. That's it. I'm getting a Jonah Savaiinaea jersey.
I can't. Like, the one thing I can't. Like this exclusive Miami Dolphins jersey that comes out. I can't get a player. I just can't, because like Ramsey's about to leave. I went to Miami and got a Ramsey jersey. Of all the jerseys I could have got, I got a Ramsey jersey. Like, I wasn't gonna get two. I've got two already. We're never gonna get Tyreek Hill. I was like, oh, Ramsey. Like Ramsey safe. Ramsey probably gonna retire a Dolphin. Months later.
Nah, I don't know how you got that. Ramsey retiring a Dolphin. I don't know that. Nah.
To be fair,
Waddle would have been safer, and he's not going to retire a Dolphin.
I think my son's got a Waddle jersey.
Like father, like son. Then you could have got Michael one too, but you was too busy making Michael at the time.
Michael was already made, to be fair. Like, we didn't know. Legit. When you met us, Hannah was pregnant. We just didn't know. Like, yeah, came back. So if anything, Mike has seen the Dolphins win a game. Mike has seen the Dolphins. Mike had been to Hard Rock and seen the Dolphins win a game.
Hey.
Crazy. JML says, I was iffy on the first round pick because I was in on the corner or O-line, but then somebody I was listening to summed up in a few words: Sealer, Grant, Chubb, Phillips, Robinson, Brooks. So yeah, which kind of go back to what Charlie was saying. You got a lot of defensive linemen. You don't need to go and get Kenneth Grant, but the pick is in, and I think the 1-2 punch of Kenneth Grant and Jonah Savaiinaea has kind of smooth things over here on Go Time Dolphins. Also, I don't think we announced it yesterday. May 14th, I believe. Yeah, May 14th. Schedule release. Which also means May 14th, booking my plane and hotel for Spain. Like, yeah. I'm not waiting. Like, I think I did say it. I'm not waiting until the week of May 14th. 100%. I'm booking my stuff. I still predict it's going to be November 16th. It's a Sunday. It's an international break, so there's no Real Madrid game. I'm predicting May 16th. Dolphins, Bengals. It sounds like, but nah, a lot of fun.
Dang. Shador Sanders still falling. He's the Malik Willis and the Will Levis. And if we're looking at the writing on the wall, Malik Willis and Will Levis did not, they fell for a reason, and them boys did not pan out.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think we'll see.
Bro, because he's fallen so much, I think there's a chance he goes to a team that isn't even on the radar. Like, you know what? We don't even need a quarterback, but we could use a backup. Not Miami.
Oh.
Not Miami. Not mine.
I was going to go there.
JML, we'll get to you, JML. You said what picks do we have left? So, but yeah, I could see him now going to a team with a veteran. Matter of fact, check that. I could see him go to San Fran now. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? San Fran gonna sign Purdy or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, JML, the Dolphins have. Let's see what we got.
I know we've got 1/4.
We got 416. I'm sorry, a 4th round pick, 116. A 5th round pick, 143. Another 5th round pick, 150. 3rd 5th round pick, 155, and 3 7s, 224, 231, 253. So we have 1/4 and 3 5ths and 3 7s left. There's a chance we don't pick again today.
Have the Bears picked for you yet?
Oh, Ozzie Trapillo.
Yeah.
Went to the Bears.
Hey,
24. Ozzie Trapillo.
Fair play to the Bears. Shout out to Oliver Hodgkinson, Go Time Dolphins affiliate. He mentioned, and it is very valid, Mike Green's still on the board. With that pick, in the 50, the Mike Green's still on the board.
First round pick. Like, it's not
projection. First round projection.
First round, yeah, but not like the other people who, he was projected to be. Nah, bro. He was a surefire. We remember yesterday, I wanted a shoe in at 13. Surefire, a lock. That's what I wanted at 13. To me, Kendall Grant is not that. But I also wanted a shoe in, surefire, lock, clean, safe pick at 48, and that's Jonah Savaiinaea. How can I be mad at that? Mike Green was a lock for the first round. And he has allegations out there that are pretty damning. And that's why he is falling. And again, I'll be loud and clear about it and say they are allegations. So he's falling. And yeah, there's no telling how far this. I hope you got a parachute.
I was like, in all seriousness, like, again, the allegations are very serious. Could this be like a Lyle Collins situation where it's like, he just doesn't get drafted?
Maybe you don't know the allegations. I'm gonna protect my dog and see, because he said they're not very serious.
No, I said they are very serious.
Okay. I thought you said they're not very serious.
If that came out, I was meant to say they are very serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, Lyle Collins had allegations against his name in the draft, and it got to the point where he said, "Don't draft me. Don't I've fallen this far. Don't draft me. I'll pick a team." He obviously went to the Cowboys. But yeah, Mike Green, currently hadn't been picked in the first 2 rounds. Could get to a point though where he's like, I don't want to be like a 5th or 6th round pick. I want, like, at this point, let me hit undrafted free agency and let me pick where I kind of want to go, which then becomes very interesting. But yeah, it's pick 57. And
hey, how long ago do you think Lyle Collins was?
Hadn't he just retired?
No. Oh yeah. Like he
so,
just.
So we're talking like probably at least 10 years.
So I said at least 8. I told LB it was at least 8 years ago. It doesn't seem like it was like 15 years ago. It does feel like 10 years ago. It felt like he had a short career, is what it feels like.
Yeah. Lyle Collins was he's 31, 2014. So 11 years. 11 years, yeah. Yeah. Also, I drafted in 2050, so 10 years. 10 years this year. Rob is going to head off. Rob, I believe the draft starts at 5 p.m. tomorrow. 5 p.m. But we will Go Time Dolphins Twitter account will tweet out when we're going live.
Hey, William Hayes, former Miami Dolphin William Hayes, says he's going to jump on the podcast with us. You know what? Maybe I should have held that back because I know Will, like, he might want to, But then next thing you know, he don't come. You know what I'm saying? So, but shout out, former William Hayes said he's gonna chop it up with us and talk the draft.
That's 5 p.m. UK time, so that's probably 11 a.m. Eastern. Actually, I will. If you're still here, NFL draft day 3 start time. Google April. Yeah, so it's Saturday, April 26th at noon Eastern. So 6 p.m. That's not helpful. Noon Eastern is 6 p.m. UK time, Charlie. 6 hour difference.
Yes.
Yeah. So 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Charlie, have you seen the Lions pick?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I won't spoil it then. If they haven't announced
it already passed.
Oh, they went Tate Routledge.
Okay, Tate Routledge. Almost made 2 Chase 24.
But I say that because obviously, although I say that the NFL haven't tweeted it out yet, so I might just spoil that for people. I apologize. Aren't they 5 hours behind? Let me double check. 12 noon Eastern. I can't spell noon. 12 noon Eastern in GMT is. They're saying 4 p.m.
Oh, maybe it starts at 11. No. It's 5 hours away from Miami. So maybe the draft starts at 11.
Right. Let's try this one more time. So I am on the UK Guardian website for NFL draft time. I just need to know what time it starts in the UK on this weekend.
I think it starts at 11 Eastern time.
This has so I'm looking at the Guardian right now. It says 12 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
But Rob, look out for the Dolphins, the Go Time Dolphins Twitter account to double, triple check. Because I won't miss that at the very least. But okay, when did Hayes say he's going to come on? Today, tomorrow?
So William Hayes, he said he was going to come on today, but I like, yo, we got all day tomorrow if it's better for you. So he said, all right, cool, let's do it tomorrow. So former Miami Dolphin William Hayes supposed to be joining the podcast. I should have kept it to myself, but I was reading text, so I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, it'll be cool to chop it up with someone who got drafted as a D lineman, interior D. Well, he wasn't interior D line, but as a D lineman, and tell us about the D lineman we got.
Remember yesterday when I said I was going to say something off the pod and I forgot what it was? I think it might have been that because I wanted to ask you about that because you said a couple of weeks ago, like a Miami Dolphin come onto the pod. I wanted to double check, and it's one of those things where do we tweet it out? Do we keep it to ourselves? Do we say it's going to be this person? Because don't be left with egg on your face. But yeah, if you're here and we've had Hayes on before. Hayes is a great dude. And yeah, so the reason I mentioned the Lion draft and Tate Routledge is because a lot of Dolphin fans wanted him at pick 48. And me personally, I'd rather Jonah Savaiinaea at pick 48 than Tate Routledge. I would also rather go up and get Jonah Savaiinaea than wait to see where Tate Routledge falls to. But yeah, fair play to the Lions. And again, it kind of goes back to this is a deep offensive line class that at pick 57, the Lions are getting a starter on the offensive line. But yeah, we'll see how it all pans out when all is said and done. Here's something from Barry Jackson. It says, if Dolphins theoretically traded Ramsey tonight or early tomorrow for a third or a fourth and other stuff, their cap space would shrink from 16.5 mil to 8.5 mil or so. but they could create more of a contract restructures. It's not ideal, but doable. But then that goes back to the whole, well, then do you touch Tua's contract? And so far, the Dolphins have seemed, I don't say reluctant to, but they haven't needed to go to that well yet. So, we'll see how it. Again, I keep saying this. We will see how it all pans out. So yeah, Rob, thank you for joining us. It is 2 a.m. That is a great shift from Rob. Yeah, given that I'm gonna have a nice line tomorrow morning. But I say that I have a 3-week-old son, so I'm pretty sure that lion's gonna be disturbed. But I am on morning duty, so I had to just deal with it, I guess. So yeah, we'll see how my morning goes. But I would love to be able to sleep till about 7, 8 o'clock. That would be amazing for me. No, 9. If I could sleep till 9 o'clock, yeah, that'd be great. Haven't had 2 hours sleep last night. Seeing a clip of Deion Sanders reacting. That's not news. You don't people do stuff for the sake of it. Thank you, Talibah TV. Hope you are well. So we are at pick 59. The Ravens are on the clock. It's funny. Had the Dolphins stayed where they were, it still would have been what, like 38 picks from the Dolphins picking again. I can imagine. Well, we're nearly into the 3rd round, and that's when you might see Dolphins do something. I'm looking at
Azariah Thomas and Trey Amos still on the board.
I was literally just looking at Bleacher Report.
Xavier Watts
on
the board.
Howard Fanning Jr.
on the board.
So Bleacher Report have Siobhan Ravel Jr. and then, as you mentioned earlier, Mike Green.
Bro. So, listen, what are we doing? Mike Green. It's a football podcast. We're talking about a football draft. What are we doing? Is he not going to go? Is he not going to play football ever in the NFL? No team ever going to take a chance on him? I cannot wait to see where this dude goes, because someone's going to get a 1st-round pick for pennies on the pound.
So just saw something. Want to double/triple check, and it's more that. Okay, that would be interesting if true. There's a lot of people taking clips of Tyler Shuck and saying, I can't believe you got drafted before Shador Sanders. It's like, you clearly haven't watched the kid. Tyler Shuck was getting, 1st-round buzz in the last few days, saying that the team might trade up to try and take him, trade back into the 1st to try and take him. But Shador Sanders it's the name. Not in a bad way. It's just, has the Sanders name a lot of draft buzz, I guess.
So that's what I'm going back and forth with my group chat. They think it's a conspiracy theory, and they're saying it's more than football, and it's Sanders' son, and it's the Hollywood stuff and all this. Nah, bro, the man is not Jackson Dart. He not Cam Ward. He not it.
Especially, every team wants to land a quarterback. If you don't have one, you need one. I can't imagine teams going, actually, do you know what? We're not going to draft Shador Sanders and take someone of lesser talent because of his dad. If anything, that's what's going to get you fired. Because now the GM can be like, hey, why? Sorry, the owners can be like, why didn't we take Shador Sanders?
Yeah.
It's his dad. We can deal with his dad. He's playing football. It is what it is. Okay, a few more headlines. That don't matter. So, nah.
But that's Jonah Savaiinaea just popped up on the crawl on ESPN right next to the Miami Dolphin logo. It looks so good, bro.
It does 100%.
Hey, what's the temperature in November in Spain, in Madrid? Is this gonna be like a cool little game, or is it gonna be hot?
I would say it's going to be the equivalent of Germany in when we go Germany. What month?
October. It was kind of cool in October.
It was cold for you. Me and 5-Yard Lee weren't cold, but I'd say it'd probably be equivalent to that. Apparently, the Ravens pick is in. But again, I keep saying that I'm on Bleacher Report. That doesn't mean his pick is in officially. Roger Goodell saying it or whoever is announcing it. No, it's out on Jennifer's Twitter account. Have you seen the pic, Charlie?
Ravens?
Yeah.
No, not yet.
It's out on Jennifer's Twitter account. Can I say it?
Yeah.
Mike Green. Now that is interesting.
I'm just saying, bro. We playing football or what? Like, if he's never gonna play ever in the NFL, okay, let him go undrafted and no one ever pick him up. But at some point, someone gonna say, someone's gonna hit us with the, we live in the land of second chances and we believe in course correction. And I think everyone has to have a second chance. And we believe we have a real good program and veterans in the locker room that can get them back on track. All the good stuff.
When we discussed him before, Neil Driscoll tweeted, "How could you let Malachi Starks and Mike Green fall to the Ravens?" But I hadn't seen no one say that Mike Green had gone to the Ravens. That's why I asked you, has it been announced yet? And I think what's interesting is, again, we talk about the Ravens as, a great institution, a great franchise, a franchise that, has all the right people, all that kind of stuff. And for them to go, yeah, we're going to bring Mike Green in, even with the allegations surrounding him. To me, says one or two things. One, they would have done their extensive homework and gone, we believe that he's innocent or it's not as bad or whatever, and we're going to take, we're going to pick him, or we don't care. But no, Mike Green, Baltimore Raven, Mike Green and Malachi Starks is, they essentially got 2 first-round players when, let's be honest, they probably shouldn't have been there when they picked. So, yeah.
Mike Green, what looks to be like his mom controlling the crowd. This is fun. When people get on TV, they don't know how to act.
Oh, 100%. What I find interesting as well is, so Rap Sheet tweets that Mike Green's gone and then says the reason that he fell. It's like, did you need to say that? Like, let dude have his moment and let the allegations. But he does say that he was off several teams' boards because of it. So I've seen a photo of Mason, or a video of Mason Taylor with his Jets hat or paper planes hat, and Lawrence, sorry, his dad next alongside him as well. It's just Jason Taylor, and just like, yeah. I need the Dolphins to hit him hard. But, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. So, yeah, Mike Green is a Baltimore Raven. Sorry. Tiredness getting to me. And I believe the Broncos have made their pick as well. So we'll see.
RJ Harvey. RJ Harvey went to the Broncos, another running back. You know, when hold on. Hold on. Oh no, okay. I thought he went running back already. They didn't.
See, that's what I thought. I was like, did they go to Marion Hampton? But no,
Marion Hampton went to the Chargers.
Yeah, Najee Harris. So yeah, I think there's some more people kind of. Yeah, so Douglas Duwong said, if anyone cared, the trade Miami made was pretty even. And again, the whole points thing, and it's actually, yeah, let me Google weather in Spain in November. Spain weather in November.
Trey Amos, corner to the Commanders.
Nice pick. Again, I think it was a corner that some Dolphin fans would have wanted to fall. Hey, it is what it is. And to be fair, you say fall, you now fall into like the hundreds. So in Madrid in November, highs of 59 degrees Fahrenheit and lows of 41 degrees Fahrenheit.
I can't wear the suit I was gonna wear. I was gonna wear my Matador outfit. I'm gonna have to wear my Jonah Savaiinaea jersey now.
I must wear my exclusive Dolphins jersey or whatever. Apparently so there's a lot of the Dolphins lost the trade, all that kind of stuff, and it's just I think people are always going to be unhappy with it.
Cool. Proof is in the pudding. Can't wait till game day.
Exactly. Especially when, again, I feel like people are scared because we moved up for Liam Eichenberg. I was like, hey, okay, you moved up to Liam Eichenberg and that pick didn't work out. Doesn't mean you never ever trade up for an offensive lineman again. And
That's
again,
funny.
You can't sit there and be like, we must go offensive line. So Chris Greer goes, hey, one of the ones who, and again, I can get it because Liam Eichenberg coming out of his draft class was highly rated. But yeah, it's again, fans, the Dolphins have gone trenches with both their pick, which is what everyone wanted the Dolphins to do. They just don't like the way they've gone about it. It's like you can't please everyone. You can't please everyone. Charlie. So this is another one of those where, like yesterday, once the Dolphins pick, it's like they're probably not going to pick again. It would be great to go to bed and get some sleep, but I don't want to miss the pick.
We're not picking again, bro. We're not trading back up. We do have stuff, but we're not. What are we gonna trade? We gonna trade Jalen Phillips to get back into the third round this year? We're gonna trade Jalen Ramsey and a fifth to get back into the third round this year?
Could you imagine?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you, like I told you yesterday, if Chris Greer already had a press conference, it's over with. If he already talked about the pick, we're not gonna talk about the pick and then go back into the war room to try to. Nah, we're done. We're done for the night.
Bears on the clock at pick 62. How many picks are left? Like what? At least 30. Like what? 38 picks. 32, 64, 96. What do you think, Charlie? We're gonna call it. We're gonna keep on going.
I think we could call it. Let's get into bonus time.
Let's get to overtime, Charlie.
Overtime. Y'all know what time it is. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already.
Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's show time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's show time. cause it's your time. Lay it on the line when it's go time. Don't waste no time. Gotta make them lose their mind when it's your time. And it's your time. Going all out when it's go time. I ain't wasting no.
So, over and overtime, and yeah, part of it is, I'll be completely honest, I'm exhausted. It's been a long Friday, an emotional day for me. If the Dolphins aren't picking again, being able to go to bed and get 5 hours sleep is going to be really beneficial. If the Dolphins pick, then we might come back home, but
Hey, we got an early day tomorrow.
That as well. Charlie, I asked you this in overtime yesterday. I'll ask you this again. Now you've had more time to sit and think about the pick, Jonah Savaiinaea, the trade. What are your thoughts and feelings?
The same way yesterday, the further and further away we got from the pick, after the pick, I felt worse about it. With Kenneth Grant is the opposite today. The further and further away we get from the Savaiinaea pick, I feel better about it. And I felt good about it already. So, but there's no price that you can tell me that would have been too much. It's not like we took him at 13th overall, which, okay, like, is he solid or is he solid? Is he safe or is he safe? We want to win games, bro, and he's gonna help us win games. And I think it's like a understanding amongst everyone in the football community that you did not miss with Jonah Savaiinaea. How do you not feel good about that? I got a question for you, Kadeem, because we're about to call it a night, and we're gonna cover the entire draft tomorrow. Former Miami Dolphin William Hayes is supposed to jump on the podcast with us. So if we miss something tonight, I want to ask this question. It just popped up in my group chat. Shedeur Sanders is falling. The Dolphins need a backup quarterback. Is there a round where you consider, okay, this is too far, and now we have to consider him as a backup in Miami? If there is a round where you consider Shedeur Sanders, or maybe you're just like, nope, I don't want Shedeur Sanders at all. He's not good enough. But if you do feel like, well, it's the 5th round. We got three fifth round picks and a 4th. Do you take Shedeur Sanders, a backup quarterback, to back up Tua?
Yeah, 100%. Like, because we say this every year, you draft a quarterback every single year, even if you have one, because you might get a dude and you can trade him for future picks, all that kind of stuff. In the Dolphin situation, you need a backup quarterback, and I'm of the belief, even if it wasn't Shedeur Sanders, there's not a single quarterback in this draft class who is going to be in the 5th round who's going to come in and take Tua's place. Like, let's be completely serious. People are, oh, but Dak Prescott. Teams do not pick up guys in the 4th round to start for their franchise. It doesn't happen. So yeah, it should I saw it.
The Chiefs select Omar Norman Lott. Dang, bro. I don't like that, bro.
I think this is the downside of not picking not being here for the full coverage, because you miss stuff like that. But yeah, no, Shedeur Sanders. Again, you have 3 picks within like 10 spots of each other. One of them, okay, yeah, you go and get Shedeur Sanders if he's the best quarterback left on your board and the best player on your board. Again, it might be a case of you might get his dad talking in the media. I think my kid's better than Tua. He should be starting. Blah blah blah. You're gonna get that no matter who you take. Their family will be talking. It might not be as public because you know.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's gonna be on a pretty huge platform though.
Yeah, and that's a part of taking Shedeur Sanders, which might be why. No, I'm not going to say it, but yeah, it's yeah, if he's there and you know your board has him better than Dylan Gabriel. And again, it's just when it comes back to people thought he'd be taken in the first round. People thought he'd be taken in the second round, and I was shocked that he's not taken that pick. Currently 64. If you get him at 115, the value should be off the charts. You've got a first round quarterback at pick 115. How can you not be happy? So yeah, I have no issue taking him in the 4th, 5th sitting there. If he's the best person, I can't be angry at that.
Yeah. I just believe there's gonna be, all right. I'm gonna play the game up. I can't ask you to answer it and then I answer. Yes. If he's available, and no one else on the board is better than him, then yeah, you take him. I'm not just gonna discriminate because he's a Sanders and he brings the circus. No, I'm okay. Like, let's do it. Like just like Kadeem said, I'm comfortable with Tua being the starter, and he could sit for a while, develop, and maybe we could use him as a piece to trade eventually. I just believe there will be other positions with some value in the 5th, 4th, and 5th round, and Sanders might be there. And I'll be like, yo, it'll be nice to have Sanders as a backup quarterback, but it'll also be nice to have Aeneas Peebles as my backup D tackle, straight up, that could potentially start. So as a rotational piece. So nah, bro. Peoples might go before that, but still, you get the point. Yeah. So I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's again, people on my timeline right now are furious. That's Tyler Chuck would take him before Shador Sanders. It's like, and again, it might be a case where we look back at it and Sanders does come out to be an absolute dude in the NFL, and you go,
yeah, hit us with the told you so's. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
Don't go. Hey, don't go, bro. What's funny is they're going to use this as a built-in excuse. Oh, he didn't make it in the NFL because the NFL didn't want him to make it. They didn't trust him, and he flamed out. Like, nah. If he could play, he could play. And then y'all can hit us with the "see, I told you," and now you missed. He could be Dak Prescott. Cool.
Yeah.
And then now we got to hear, oh, you didn't take him for 5 rounds, and I'll be like, all right, y'all win.
Yeah.
But nah.
This should be perfect. Whiteboard material. When you're training this off season, it's like, 32 teams passed on me 3-4 times. I'm going to get my leg back, and I'm going to show everyone why I should have gone in the first round, why I should have been the number 1 pick. And again, it's difficult to say this or to not do this. Don't let this be the excuse that you don't make it. And then for the next 20 years, we got him and his dad going, the reason I didn't work because I didn't get taken the first round. I wanted to give him a chance. Like, now, once you get into a building, that's your chance.
You said perfect whiteboard material. What's the difference between whiteboard material and blackboard material, Kadeem? Tell us.
I'm gonna assume blackboard material, or again, my assumption. I feel like blackboards are more for, I'm gonna say primary school. Don't know what you have it in the US. Not kindergarten. What's after kindergarten?
Middle school.
Whoa.
After kindergarten is elementary school.
Elementary
school. There's middle school. Then middle school. There's high school. Then there's college. Y'all call it university.
I feel like
Andrew Makuba to the Eagles.
I just saw that as well. The rich get richer, Charlie. The rich
Eagles trying to be the new Patriots, bro. Damn.
But again, this pick within the 60s, I believe.
2nd round pick, bro.
And people the end of the 2nd round, pick 32 in the second round. But we were hoping he'd be there at pick 98. If you're the Dolphin, if you look at the mocks that we did, guys who we were taking in the 3rd round are gone in the 2nd round. Now, again, there's going to be someone there in the 3rd round, but it's like people are saying, you don't know who's going to be there when you pick. So moving up and getting your guy, it's like cool, because the guy you had hoped to, I'm not doing
this. This is why it doesn't matter about size in the NFL. Because if Andrew Makuba is undersized and he's playing for the Eagles, where everyone are dogs and ballers and footballers, you just added another footballer in Andrew Makuba. Like, you think his size is going to bother him or his teammates? Nah, he's just going to be another high IQ football player on a team that is already good on defense. Bro, that's crazy. I don't like that, bro.
Charlie, I shall catch up with you in a few hours. Hopefully we are joined by not just one guest, but a few guests tomorrow. Final day. Let's see how it all pans out. But yeah, I say it again, in case you missed it, Jonah Savaiinaea is a Miami Dolphin. The Dolphins moved up to go and get him. The New York Giants are on the clock at the top of the third round. The Dolphins are picking the third round. And like I said, if something happens, the Dolphins trade up and go grab someone. If I'm not sleeping and Charlie's around, we'll do something. If not, we'll cover it tomorrow on the podcast. Charlie, anything else?
Be easy.
Then we shall see you soon. Peace.
Oopsie.